Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the to the next match in the Coronation Cup II. This time we have in the blue our new player Tob.z, and in the yellow it's our player Peter Host. So we have, as usual for the first game, the map Nomade. So let's reduce the game sound a little bit. And we have a very good looking starting spot for Peter Host. I don't like that he's building the house there with one villager and not having up his town center. He could easily build the house after the town center. He's playing at the Malians, so unfortunately for Tob.z, the Malians are a pretty strong nomad civilization because they get a fishing ship right away. So we have the dock of Peter Host down there, right next to Toby's town center spot. I don't like his position there because he's not even really docking to the wood, so it's there. The distance there is quite far and unnecessary because the villagers always have to walk. And he is, he's really next to the water. This means if he loses water in the fuel age or in the castle age, his starting town center is with gullies reachable, so it could be taken down by Peter Host from the water. And you can see here Peter is right next to the gold and the stone is not as far away, and if you look down there, the stone is there, and he also has to walk a really distance. So maybe town center, instead of building it next to the sea, walk a little bit with the little bit farther with the villagers, and then maybe put your town center down there. You have some deers and the berries, and this means Toby has an even better start. And if you look up, so Peter is already 2 villagers ahead. He has he's two villagers now ahead, and has already out 2 fishing ships. While Toby is having out his dock, he takes the shorefish. I like this a lot. And this time I'm casting with capture age, so we can see the town center idle time, and there you can see Toby has already 20 seconds idle town center. So yeah, this is bad, but it can happen. But he also is taking wood with 7 villagers, or now 8 villagers, and no food. This means his only food resource is down here. These villager taking shorefish and 1 fishing ship. And when you take a look to Peter, he's already taking the boar under his town center there, and has 3 fishing ships and 1 in the queue. So this means the idle time for Toby increases there a lot, but it's out of the reason he has no food. Peter should have the food. If he drops the food of these villagers there, he could easily have less idle time than he had right now. If you look there, I like this. Toby is scouting the map. So let's shift. Okay, there is the scouting of Toby. So he's trying to find his opponent, but as the Vietnamese, he's seeing the town center, so he knows exactly where Peter is, and does not need to search him. So maybe the Vietnamese is not the best nomad civilization, but if you're going for an early lane, the Vietnamese are really good because you can walk there and search the resources next to him, lame the boar or the cows or the deers, and maybe wall the gold in. But unfortunately, if he wants to do that, Peter has a lot of resources around his town center, so he does not need it. The resources are not needed in the early stage of the game. I don't like the positioning of the houses there because they are blocking the wood or the stone. And also this, if you walk there, the villager now has to walk around to drop the food. And Peter is scouting. Oh, he's building a dog, right? No, it's a blue dog. Oh, and he has lost the villager to the boar. Okay, this should never happen. And now he has to delete the dog because if he has to build it or he has to delete it because these are 150 wood and no use of them. We can have a look at the scouting of Peter House. So, okay, the scouting is great. You can see it also on the scroll here. Yes, that's because of the experience of our host. He knows exactly what to do. Okay. Does he see the boar? Okay, that's bad. He doesn't see the boar. But I think this farm is not necessary yet. He could easily take this deer there or there, drop a mill down. Also, Toby is now finally gathering some food underneath the town center. He also should take this boar here and this boar here. And now Peter is finding. No, he has no idea where Toby is. So he's not on the top corner. Now he might guess that he has to be somewhere there. Oh, and now he's taking the boar finally. With a little bit more experience, he can bring the boar up to the town center, though that the walking time is not as heavy as it's right now. And yes, Peter is in fuel age. And Toby hasn't even clicked up yet. He does not have the food. He has the buildings because he dropped the lumber camp quite early, and now he should garrison. Okay. He should garrison his town center to shoot down the village of Peter House. Now Peter reacts. Great done, well done. So he sees it now and knows where his opponent is. And if you look there, what is Peter going to do? He's sending out the first fire gully. So the dogs are quite next to each other. Okay, he's taking the berries. I love this. And yeah, it's blacksmith at market. So he just wants to go up to castle age. He has already the resources. So if he had the building, he could go up earlier. And now Peter is destroying the fishing economy of Toby, and also the dog there is still there. Just if you don't want to build something, delete it, because then you get back all the resources which aren't built yet. And okay, now he's taking the deers there. This is okay, but let's have a look at the scouting of Toby. Okay, he hasn't scouted anything yet. He sees the ships there. He can guess maybe that Peter's dog is near, but he's still far away from fuel age. Now he's dropping the barracks directly next to the town center. That's not the best decision because it just blocks some farm space. And I'm new to Capture Age, so I haven't seen that he's already up pretty well. But yeah, Peter Host is far away from Toby, so all his fishing ships are idle. He should just redock and fight back for water, kill the fishing ships of Peter. But Tob.z is now having 6 minutes of idle time of the idle TC, while Peterhost has also 2 minutes idle time. So that's quite heavy. And okay, the next step, Peter is dropping a castle directly, I believe, directly here, on the face of Tob.z. So the GG castle, and the idle town center time, if you look up, is yeah, it's heavy because Tob.z is far away in Mr. Host is far ahead in villager numbers. The villager difference now is, because Tob.z is losing the fishing ships, is 10 right now, and there is the castle from Peter Host. So he's not showing the castle yet, he's first building the house there, and when more villagers are here, the castle will go up. And what Tob.z is here, he has spearmen in defense, standing here doing nothing because his opponent is not going for some scouts. Why should he? He just drops the castle, denies the whole woodland, and that's another problem if you put your town center so far to the outside of the map, because okay, he's now taking the boar here. He could have lured the boar to the town center with one villager and then take the food here, so he has a lot or huge distance to walk. And now the castle will go up. He should bring the villagers back, because otherwise he's losing all of them, and yeah, that's just, yeah, it should not happen. He has lost all of his shipping fleet. Peter has done the war galley upgrades, so he has now fire ships, but because Tob.z was not competing for water, 2 fire galleys are just enough. There's no comeback in this game, so only 6 villagers that are the 6 villagers which are taking the boar here. And now Peter is going for the special unit of the Malians, even building a siege workshop. He stays on 1 TC, and he doesn't have any eco upgrades, and he has wheelbarrow, so his villagers will carry more and are a little bit faster, and the spearman and the archer won't do anything against this unit, especially when you're not microing them properly. And just build spearmen, or only build spearmen if your opponent is going for scouts. Never build spearmen for any other units, because they are just wasted, if you see here. And now there's the scorpion, and we're waiting for the GG. So let's give a little bit. Peterhost is now using the market and the castle. These are the last villagers of Tob.z. Oh, but the spearman migrates out here. But he's losing everything now. He has, okay, it's GG. Peterhost is victorious. So yeah, you could have seen here that the experience of Peterhost, he knows about playing this game. So Tob.z has to train a lot. Peter was far ahead with the start because Tob.z wasn't on food. He sent all his villagers to wood, which is in the first the right choice, but at some point you have to send some wood villagers back to food instead of you have to instead of your town center isn't running. So that was it for the first game. Let's see you in the second.